I know you've probably experienced a similar situation where you discover how much you've spent at the end of the month and have no idea how it happened. You didn't buy anything expensive, didn't go on any trips, and barely left the house, yet your credit card bill is through the roof, just like it has been for the past few months. The fact is, this is a very common problem for many of us Brazilians. First, because the cost of living is already very high regardless of where you live, and second, because salaries are very tight. So, surviving by financial juggling seems like the only option we have. However, there are indeed some ways out if you want to be part of the group that ends the month with money left over. But I need to make it clear that this won't happen overnight. This takes time because you will have to relearn how to use your money and train new and good spending habits to see a significant change in your life in the long run. This goes against your reward system, which is already addicted to receiving dopamine all the time through purchases and food. So, it's a complete shift that you need to make. Therefore, the most important thing you need to do first is to decide to improve your financial life. I mean, really decide and be firm in your decision. I only truly changed my life when I set my mind on focusing on improving my quality of life after going through some psychologically humiliating situations that ended up. I never shared these experiences with anyone, at least not while I was going through them. Like having the electricity cut off at home because I couldn't afford to pay the bill, or going to the grocery store with just enough money and ending up at the checkout with more items than I could pay for, having to decide what was most important. Or having to sell things I liked just to pay the bills. These are situations that leave a mark on our lives, but they also have a silver lining because they become the fuel for our change. So please, view financial change as a goal you need to achieve. Make it your number one priority. Forget about buying a car, house, clothes, or random purchases you want. Focus only on your peace of mind, on having savings, on having your bills paid, on having money left over every month, on being able to eat what you want without worrying if this meal will break your budget. These are basic things that every human being deserves to live with dignity. So, the first thing you're going to do is what everyone hates: face the problem head-on. After watching this video, get off the internet, grab a paper and pen, access your bank and credit card statements, and write down everything you spent last month, every detail. By doing this, you'll discover where your money is leaking. It's in the variable expenses, not the fixed monthly bills. This way, you'll identify a lot of unnecessary expenses you made throughout the month that could have been saved to invest or pay off debts. You might think you'll never manage to pay off your debts, but after this, you're going to make a complete list of how much you earn and how much you spend every month. This will help you see if, besides your variable expenses, your fixed expenses are also weighing you down. But hold on, before you start saying you earn too little and you're already cutting corners everywhere, do this audit first. I'm sure you'll find some unnecessary expenses. What you need to understand is that you have to treat your finances like those of a business. Your expenses are the operational costs, and what's left at the end of the month is your actual profit. This is your money to invest, improve your quality of life, secure your future, and so on. Viewing savings as profit transforms saving money into a more interesting and motivating habit. So, at the end of each month, when you organize your finances, start focusing on how much you've managed to profit and watch for improvements month after month. The money you invested the previous month will already start working for you, and gradually, your money will grow every month. Over time, you'll create something very important: financial slack, which is essentially the difference between how much you earn and how much you spend. So, the surplus at the end of the month, combined with what you've already saved, will keep increasing your financial slack, allowing you to resolve your debts, improve your quality of life, and most importantly, achieve peace of mind. Going back to the main point, after filtering out unnecessary expenses and starting to have money left over at the end of the month, the first thing you need to resolve are your debts, if you have any. To simplify, focus first on the ones with the highest interest rates, such as credit card debt or overdrafts. Using your bank limit and delaying payments creates an endless snowball effect. That's why I say, if you're not good with money, cut up your credit cards and only make purchases with your debit card until you have enough financial maturity to handle it. The interest rates are extremely high, and the benefits of points and rewards only start to make sense when you can organize all your expenses on the card and pay it off in full each month. In fact, this whole point system on credit cards is just another conscious excuse you create to spend more on your card, but they only really make sense if you have a high credit card bill, above 5,000 Brazilian reals. In my opinion, all the juggling between 3 or 4 different credit cards that you learn in mileage courses is not worth the return if you spend little. It would be much more intelligent to use that time spent studying to actually increase your income, which will bring a much higher return than earning 50 Brazilian reals or 100 Brazilian reals in miles at the end of the month. There are what I consider to be foolish economies, where you think you are saving money but end up not seeing the bigger picture. I'll give you 2 examples of how this can happen. First, in the same case of credit card points where you're happy to earn 50 Brazilian reals in points at the end of the month, but you don't stop to think that you spent 2,000 Brazilian reals to earn that money. It's very likely that there were some impulse purchases where you used the excuse to yourself that you would use the credit card to increase the bill and earn more points. This is just another simple tactic banks use to make you spend more of your money. That's why I said only use credit cards if you have a strong awareness of your spending habits. You're doing. The other example is of those who save on small things, like not buying a coffee on the street because they think paying 5 Brazilian reals is too expensive, even though that coffee would give them a boost for the day. Yet, they come home and spend 200 Brazilian reals on sports betting, video games, fast food, or online shopping, not realizing these have a much greater impact than that daily coffee. The cost of a pizza, for instance, could buy a month's worth of coffee. So, things have different weights. Continuing, after organizing your expenses and starting to clear your debts, focus on saving money for your emergency fund. Essentially, you aim to save 3 to 6 months worth of your fixed monthly costs in a separate account, ideally in a daily liquidity CDB, certificate of deposit, which earns interest daily and can be invested today and withdrawn tomorrow if needed. This emergency fund is different from your future investment account. It's the money that's there in case something goes wrong in your life. Think of this money as the life insurance for your financial life. As you save for your emergency fund, also focus on setting aside money for actual investments. I believe a good division of your leftover money at the end of the month, after paying your bills, is to allocate it as follows: 20% for you to spend as you like, your fun money for buying things you enjoy, eating out, etc. Because yes, you will spend on these things, and it's better to have a dedicated budget for it. Then, 40% for your emergency fund and another 40% for investments. This way, you'll have a balanced approach to managing your finances and steadily work towards financial stability and growth. When it comes to investments, here's what I do: the money I set aside for discretionary spending stays in my daily account. This way, when the credit card bill comes at the end of the month, this money covers those random expenses. My emergency fund is kept in daily liquidity CDBs at Nubank and Inter. As for my investments, they are in my Rico account, where the money that goes in doesn't come out. Investing is much broader than just buying company stocks and investment funds. Investment is anything where you put your money and receive a higher return than what you invested. This includes things like courses, books, training, starting a business, or reselling items. All of these are types of investments. Investing means using your money and time as tools to generate even more money. Even if it's about studying, the time and money invested will pay off in better jobs, higher salaries, or a business you build on your own. How you invest your money over time is something you'll figure out as you understand what you want for your future. But the main focus is always to increase your income. You can follow all the advice I've given in this video about controlling your expenses, saving money at the end of the month, and investing, but this will only work to a certain extent because the most important variable is how much you earn. Organizing your finances early is crucial because it influences your entire future. Because when you earn little, you need to make sure there's money left to invest and earn more. Second, if you don't know how to manage your money while earning a little, you'll definitely struggle when you start earning well. It will seem like the money is never enough because as your salary increases, so do your expenses. This happens due to a lack of financial maturity. Awareness of your consumption and consistency in your financial habits are the keys to regaining control over your financial life. Managing money healthily means having the discipline to understand that not all the money you have is meant to be spent. Some of it needs to be set aside to secure your future. Life isn't just about your current desires, it's about the many years ahead that you'll need financial stability to truly enjoy life to the fullest. So, tell me, how is your financial situation today? What is your biggest expense right now, and how are you planning to change this moving forward? Let's talk about it next time. Thanks and see you soon.